What is up, YouTube? This is Fortress Striker coming to you back with another DBS podcast episode here today. We're going to go with part 2 today with the red and green reveal that Bandai has left us behind from a week ago. But now, here we are, part 2, and all these cards I heard for all the support that's going to be for red and green is actually showing a lot better now after we have seen a lot of confusion. So before we do begin, Angel and I want to go ahead and say, we are sorry, Broly, for shitting on you. We are sorry. It's not your fault. It's Bandai, because they do this thing where they want to reveal half red, half green, and then half red, half green another week, and just show the good cards that why it's good, even though some cards are not that great. But we still apologize to Broly because we love you.
Yeah, last week we gave Broly some shit because, you know, we thought it would be mediocre, but it's actually pretty consistent, pretty aggressive, and it's pretty fun.
Yes, right. So anyway, guys, so we're going to go ahead and start off with this. But before we begin, I want to go ahead and introduce someone new to the podcast. So we got Mr. Wyse Wild. How you doing, Mr. Wyse?
I'm doing all right, man. You know, just rolling, enjoying life.
That's good, that's good. And we're glad for you to be the replacement for Noel today, who can't come up to the show. So that's too bad. But
things have happened.
And the fact is, it is his cards we're gonna reveal. But we already showed Majin Buu, so who cares? Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, we got new Unison cards. So the first one we got is Kale Savage Berserker. She has two auto effects. The first one is when this card is played, you look up the top 3 cards of your deck to search a mono red Saiyan card among them to your hand, and then place the remaining cards to the bottom of your deck in any order. The second auto is once per turn. When one of your red battle cards activates its swap skill, add a marker to this card. Activate main by paying -7 markers. Choose up to one of your opponent's leader cards and it gets -15,000 power for the turn. Then choose up to one mono red battle card with an energy cost of 5 or less and a swap skill in your hand and play it.
So, you mind if I start this one off?
Go ahead.
So let me just say that on paper, this card was not that great. In play, this card was not that great. After playtesting it further along, I realized its purpose, and it's not it's not really that big of a utility unison. It's a card that you put it there, you let it sit there, you let it gain its counters, and then if you need it to kill, you play your 7 mana or 7 tokens.
That's doable. I would say that's also agreeable. I do like how it does let you get to search when it does for Saiyan cards, although this card can also be very good for some people who might think a little further, like to the old Frieza swap, because it only recounts it as long as you're playing red swap, mono red swap cards. So it's -7 can let you play that, that 5-drop Frieza card. I know people don't play it, it's okay, but it's a good example to see that you get to see if you so choose to, and I know people are not going to do it, and then again, it's the creativity of the game, guys. If you wish to play that as a side deck card or anything, just whatever you want, just to kill. But I do have to say, it does cost too much just to do that ability, I agree, and it doesn't have any of that plus marker to add. But there's other support cards that do work with it, at least. But at the same time, that's the problem, because if it doesn't have its own plus number to add up markers, it has to show up to you have to get add support to help it boost, so you can make the deck work, or certain cards that let you work. But then you don't want to. It's not really worth the time. You could still play this in Broly because it is doable with that auto effect. So, but then again, you have to time it right, and you don't want to wait 7 turns to do any of that stuff. So, I think it's okay, but that's why it's not really high.
7 turns?
It's just only if people actually are that stupid. I know it sounds weird, but if people are just want to do 7 turns, but that's not really happening.
I mean, it pops off turn 3.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's the only unison you're realistically gonna run. It does everything that it needs to for the deck. That's all I got, Chief.
Yeah.
On your turn 2, you're spending on it, and then it's changed. So it does what it needs.
I think Bandai's trying to walk back a little bit on the one drop unisons, just because all the one drop unisons we have already, or potentially one drop unisons, are pretty pushed. I mean, Demigra slept on. I mean, the
Tanks,
yup,
Lumberjacks, that is insane.
yup. What you call it, Shenron. I mean, the kids. I don't know if I'd play the kids, but I mean, if you're playing 10K tribal, it's insane.
Okay.
You know, so I think it's just them trying to like cool their heels and like chill on the one drop a little bit, because I mean it's, yeah, I could definitely see it being good in Broly when it's good, but otherwise, you know, like
I mean, and Red has Wolfang Fist. They don't even have like a great card like Dormant potential. So like, I think they
But
just try to limit how good the Unison is.
we also were like kind of like questionable with Angel the other week when we were testing it, because me and Angel have been working on this deck this entire week. So we were doable to see how this could work, but we were mostly focused with Gotenks Unison, so that we can just like work our way with it. But it's very questionable to see between Kale and Gotenks.
I mean, well, it's interesting because Planet Vampa and the leader and they just awaken you just like that Gotenks. So I mean, in Unison. So it's just kind of like it kind of worked out at the end. My majority of my testing has been with Majin and Vegeta for a while, so you'll hear later on what I have to think on some of these green SRs and stuff like that.
Okay. So let's go ahead and next to the next red unison. We have Gotenks Earth Shattering Might. Auto effect once per turn when you activate a union skill, add a marker to this card. Plus a 0 mark, activate main, draw 1 card. Pay 5 marks, activate main, this card gets 15,000 power, double strike, and dual attack for the turn.
It's a worse version of the black Unison, but in red, it's still like it's neat in the new Gogeta deck because you're gonna draw and you're gonna use the Union skill, but like, I think it's underwhelming.
It's more like endgame with this card. That's pretty much it.
I mean, yeah, sure. If you summon it for 5 and well, no.
No, you
If
don't
you summon
sub.
it for 5 and then put 1 under, then yeah, I guess you could.
I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I looked at that. I'm like, man, you know, them Veku's pot of greed. Okay,
What
all right.
the extra card? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like your turn 1 and 2, like because the Veku is no energy, you know, and you could tutor the extra card. So like you're just plussing like ridiculous. The plus.
With the leader, yeah, because like if you look for the extra card and then you play the extra card and you get this basically pot of greed, you add the instead of playing them, you just add them to your hand if you don't want to play them.
Right, and it's not only is it Pog, but it's also Pog with swing.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, yeah, that's if you play them. Yeah.
Although,
yeah, right. And,
that's agreeable.
Yeah, so I like it.
That's true.
So
I mean, I never.
I'll let y'all get to the other part. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's great. I guess it's because when you see something, you might think it's a little slow, but then you know you get to test the waters to see how it works, and it may be not bad. I agree with that. Maybe because when you don't see like adding markers unless it's an ability, it's just kind of weird. But you know, and I guess once per turn is what limits it. But then you know the idea with markers is they're always once per turn. So I mean, who cares? Just do. All right. Angel, do you have anything to say about Gotenks?
Cute. You know, it's it's all it is. It's a cute card, but if not mistaken, that's the 2-drop. I don't see it being too effective for the 2 mana. You're probably gonna want to play the other Gotenks because seeing another person's hand in this game is just very powerful.
Okay. So now we're gonna go to the next battle cards for at least some support. We got Son Goku Saiyan Youth. So this card is one of the new cards that we've been playing for the colors. So they're basically like the Majin Buu cards, except they're 1-drop blockers, and their auto effects will be, for this one, if you have a red Unison card in play, when this card is played, draw a card. So the best thing about these cards is that as long as you have that certain type of color that go of the Unison, you get to draw, and you are going to have a 1-drop blocker on the field. And that's actually pretty amazing, you know. I like that idea that they're doing with, so to add blockers to your deck, you know, to help protect you.
Yeah, it's a 1-drop cantrip that becomes a blocker with Unison. Not much more to say on that.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, I saw it. I went and bought my set of Rebel reinforcements as soon as I saw it. Like,
Okay.
yeah. You already know. Yep. So,
Well, someone.
yeah, that I like it. So
Yeah.
I think Gogeta is just kind of a big chilling deck. You know what I mean? I see it. I'm like, oh, you know, the aggro thing's been kind of a wave for the past few months. I'm like, oh, this is big chilling right here.
That's true. I actually saw someone actually posted a comment saying, why was this character not called Kakarot? And I'd be like, that's true. But then at the same time, I guess why they want to call him Son Goku so that he can be useful for the Gogeta build.
All I'm saying is that, you know, it's gonna be pretty troll. Oh wait, no, there's no 4K Vegeta BR. I was gonna say, it'd be pretty troll if you pitched the Goku with the 4-drop Vegeta to get out of Gogeta.
But the 2-drop baby Vegeta is a 10K.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. It was gonna be.
Yeah.
Alright, and so Baby Vegeta Saiyan Youth is, if your leader card is red, when this card is played from your hand, choose up to one of your red Unison cards and add a marker to it.
Yeah, underwhelming.
Okay.
The only good thing would be the union of it if there's a Goku BR, and that if it would work. Other than that, underwhelming.
Garbage.
Alrighty, and then we got a super combo that draws 4. Alright.
Okay, and it's Nappa Elite Warrior. And that's it. Alright, so the next card, we got the real super combo. Raditz. Saiyan Youth. Yes. If your leader card is red and your life is at 4 or less and all your enemy is red, energy, it's not an enemy. When this card is used in a combo, it gets 10,000 power combo for this battle. Then you may choose one card in your hand, place it at the bottom of your deck. If you do, draw 2 cards. Now, basically, it's like it's like you're competing this a little bit with Paragus, except we had this discussion the other day where Paragus is not still is not really being underhanded by these cards. But I do like how that these cards do let you not lose your cards, you know, since this card or Sense of the Warp and all that stuff. You get to go ahead and get to save the cards to the bottom, you know, just in case for abilities, and you get to +2, so that, you know, it does link. Now, it does hurt that they do have that 0/0 thing, so you can find ways to negate this effect, you know, aka, what was her name?
Who Shrouded in Mystery?
No, not Food. It was that other card, the one that hurt Shigesh. Kakon.
Cronoa,
yeah.
no, because Cronoa doesn't negate skills. Cronoa negates cards from being played off of his skills.
Okay, that's fair.
That means Cronoa hurts the Bulma Super from set 10.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But this is good. This is a good card. Red actually gets a super combo. Like, they have unique super combos, but they haven't been as good as this card. So it was a nice addition.
And for people who haven't noticed, that these are also rare, so kudos.
Yeah. Not a fan of that.
Well,
I mean, like, but the as we're gonna see later on, like, Majin Vegeta gets something from having a similar one in green, and I'm sure Garlic Jr. will, because of Overlord and Servant. Broly really doesn't really make much of his Overlord and Servant with this super combo, so it's kind of like, wow.
So just play Jace, I guess. I guess you could play this for like Gogeta, but not for Broly. Just play the Jace card. It's red. It works for like your leader being a red Frieza army, so that works fine. Plus, you get to activate that off when you have 5 or less life, not 4.
Wait, why aren't you activating this card?
No, he's just saying like
Ace is just best in slot.
yeah.
5 life is better than 4.
Like if you want to defend and not take damage and stuff like that, and protect your life, you have that. If you want to draw 2 cards in bottom 1, you have Raditz.
That was like
Yeah, I mean, Paragus is still better. So when I looked at this cycle that they're doing, I'm like, are they gonna do something to Paragus like with on the FNL? That's kind of what it made me question. Because like, why would you make a cycle give? Because like the thing that made Paragus the most unbalanced is that only green has a Paragus, but now they're giving everybody a pseudo Paragus. But Paragus is still way better. You see the cards before you pick what you're pitching, and it's a 0/10.
Yeah, it's a 0/10.
well that
So like,
We'll just have to see. It's good that they're rares, they're easy to get, and they help the respective colors. So that in that turn, it's valuable that they were.
yeah. Oh yeah, I was happy. I was like, red, got it, red getting it. And it's a baby Raditz, baby Raditz is.
I mean, but besides Red Brawly, Red got shafted in the set. Let's be real.
okay.
We don't know if red is the one that got shafted. Remember, there's 3 other colors. There's a good chance those are the ones that get shafted. Because red's okay.
Yellow has always been busted. Black's always been good. So
Whoa.
we're gonna go blue as the other. Like some of this stuff looks underwhelming. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, I'm eating crow off of blue. I ain't gonna lie. I was capping with the blue shit. Blue kind of hitting right now.
Well, we'll
So like red's the weakest color. This set outside of Brawly didn't really improve that generically. So
No.
I'll have my reservations.
but we'll have
Onward to the Goku.
so
Unless you're gonna say something.
no. So here we have both the Super Saiyan Blue Son Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta Technique Unchained, which they both have the same abilities when they switch with one of their own type of cards. So which our abilities will state, activate main by paying 1 red energy, you choose one skillless Son Goku BR for Goku or Vegeta BR for Vegeta, and a card with an energy cost of 1 in your battle area, and return it to the hand, and play this card from your hand, and it gets 10,000 power for the turn. Its second activate main is to return this card to its owner's hand, which is really great, especially with all the support they're using to special your vanillas, and then you can just automatically special these cards by paying just 1 red energy. They're already become 20k, and you can also bring them back to like combo like Pan, so that way you can also still fusion summon with the vanilla cards to your hand, so you can summon the Gogetas and still do all your crazy combo plays, which is amazing. That's why it's a really good tech card to play for the Gogeta build.
Yeah, it just like
And yeah, it's a tech. Yeah, maybe 1 or 2, maybe.
like if you don't want to go full skillless and the old 1-drops, like you just play the skillless and these guys. Like I think they're making you pick and choose which ones you want.
I mean, I like these cards for the cute concept of if you just opt to play aggro Gogeta, you go turn 1, play 2 skillless battle cards, swing, turn 2, swing with the 2 skillless, then you swap them out into these. So you go 2 10s and then 2 20s. So I find it pretty cute, pretty fun.
Well, like I said, my preferred thing is if on that second turn summoning the 2 and what is he awakens at 4, right? The new Gogeta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be great just to like heartfelt awaken and all that, but it's kind of harder because he awakens at 4 and like he's only taking 1 life a turn, so you'd have to play a Self Awakener to awaken. Like they kind of limited as the pressure you could put on in a way.
Okay. Alright, so now we got done with the Gogeta support, so now let's go ahead and start the Broly support!
The MVP of the Broly deck.
The real reason why this deck is great. Now we wonder why 3-drop Broly, Big Broly, that's what we call him, why we asked for Paragus, and this is why. So Paragus, Oath of Vengeance, Unique Overlord. Auto effect, when this card is played, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 red Broly BR card or 1 red Unison card with a specified cost of 1 among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Yes.
So, Kevin, you want to go first? Or you want me to?
No, go ahead. You should go ahead the first, Angel.
Alright. Well, let me just say that this card is a great card for Broly. You know, everything's really good about it. It just has 2 keyword skills on it that should not be there. It should not have unique, and it should not have, well, or I understand the point of Overlord, but there's no point in it being Overlord, seeing as though you're never going to use Overlord's skill in Broly. But it should not have unique, because it forces you to combo off the Paragus on field instead of using it as defensive combo.
I mean, it's a search. It's another searcher. It raises the consistency in the deck, and that's why he's there. And it makes sense that he has Overlord. So it's a really good card for the deck.
But the idea is that you don't want Broly to just do Overlord, you know, just have all the cards go to the bottom. You just want to go ahead and make sure you swap out all of the proper cards so you can go ahead and hurt your opponent's field, hurt their life, hurt their hand. You know, you just want to make sure that the Brolys are there to be ready, you know, for the battle. You don't want to just like get rid of them. Maybe that it's like, remember a week ago when Noel said, and like, putting swap on red was smart, putting swap on yellow was the stupidest thing ever. Now it's like, if you put Overlord on yellow or green, you know, those type of decks, that's great. But you put it on for red, which red is mostly for aggro, that makes no sense whatsoever unless you have a real reason why it works. And even so, Broly's in that type of deck to resolve. As you remember, it's like one set of limitation that happened with Broly set 6, because they make sure that you're not allowed to have the field. Now in this deck, yes, you're gonna have the field. Yes, we have crit. Yes, we have ways to help you. But no, we want you to do these type of things, but yeah, at a cost. Yeah, discard a card. But what purpose do you have there? Oh yeah, it's we have Overlord. Yeah, let's get rid of your main key card that you need to summon out your big boy, despite the fact that we're just gonna put him in the bottom. I mean, seriously. I mean, Servant, I think I could keep maybe, because I did play around with it. It's like, it's okay, but Overlord, no, it wouldn't unless there's a main real reason why, and you're desperate. But that's still not going to be enough, and that's just gonna hurt the deck more.
Here's the thing, that like Servant definitely should have went to Broly, because I was speaking with Matt about this. Is that just because if Broly's were like Vanilla's 19s and 20k beat sticks, I think that would be a little bit too broken because you can untap them. I think that Overlord would have paired really well if they gave Servant to the 6-drop. I think this deck would have played out so much better if Servant went to the 6-drop, because the 6-drop is unique. So you will be able to use Overlord to get rid of the 6-drop, so you can play another 6-drop within that turn. I think that's what they should have done.
Why not the 5-drop?
Nah, 5-drop's fine. I like the 30k crit vanilla is perfectly fine. It doesn't need that one didn't need Servant, because that one's not unique. That's the thing. It's just because the 6-drop, you have no way of, you have no real way of extending your chain out from the 6-drop. You have to combo out you have to combo the 6-drop. You won't be able to attack with it, or invest into a Bell mod in order to get another 6-drop out.
I mean, it just goes to question like what resolves here. What do you think, Gio? Okay. What do you think, Wyse?
I mean, these are the type of mechanics that always I'm staying away. I don't, like, I'm glad you brought up Green Broly from set 6. Servant Overlord, when I first saw it, I'm like, that's not me. I don't like the restrictive aspect, pairing up keywords, and that's not my style at all. And I'm glad, things like the this one-drop Paragus and the Field Soaps, I'm sure we'll get to, got revealed, that kind of make the deck as a brick, like as a whole unit, cohesive in and of itself now. But I like going back and, adding on to decks. I've been building, like my Demigod, for example. That's been a deck I've had since set 4, all of it added and picked and done little things to it. Having all these things that are married to each other are not that's not my style, you know. So I'm glad that it's, you know, because I really like Broly, you know, I love Red, you know, but that whole servant overlord part of it is like, yeah, I'll get it. I'll get it when it falls out of favor or when it gets crept or something. I'm not investing heavily into those types of strategies personally.
Okay. Gio, do you have anything else to say?
Yeah. I had to go do something a second. But I'm noticing you guys are talking about Overlord and Servant.
Yeah. So pretty much, what are your thoughts on with the idea with Overlord? At least with Broly, the good, bad, could do better, maybe.
It could have been better. It looks underwhelming compared to Majin Vegeta and Garlic Jr.
Okay. Okay.
Like Majin Vegeta has Overlord on the leader.
Oh yeah, and that's a great thing that you brought up. I love that you know, if you're gonna have it, at least staple it on the leader.
I was gonna say like it should make sense because I was thinking Overlord should have been a leader thing, not much of a battle card thing. But then again, it was kind of I didn't expect that because we were so used to seeing the leader cards revealed with Overlord. I think that's what confused us last week. That's why Noel was questioning why Overlord, why is there a servant, but your Broly leader is an Overlord because but now I guess we know the answer. And
yeah, well, if you put it this way, like it makes sense as for why it's on. In my opinion, it makes sense why it's on Majin Vegeta, just because he can't really be controlled, so that's why he has the Overlord thing. You couldn't really fit that on Broly, even if you're just trying to slap it on, because the Broly leader already has so much impact into it. There's nothing really more that it could have.
Alright, so let's go ahead and go to the next card, shall we? So this one's Golemite Beast of the Planet Vampa. It's a blocker, and its auto effect is if your leader card is red and it's your turn, when this card is used in a combo, if your opponent has 3 or less energy, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 30,000 power or more and KO it.
This is the Demigra that we got back in set 4, was it?
I believe so. And
Heavenly Wizard Demigra set 4.
Yeah. So, I mean, this card, you're probably not going to run it. I mean, you probably run it for Vampa targets, but...
I think you run it at 2. This cute little deck card into that.
and a side deck. It's more like a side deck.
Shenron hate.
It is a Shinron here, except if you kill the 9-drop Shinron, you're stupid because Shinron has that ability when it gets KO'd. Well, bad things just happen.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
At some point you gotta kill it though, because it's overwhelming when on board presence when it's on the board. So.
Yeah, so I would rather, like, I understand the point now, yeah, you're right. It is in Sim Shenron. I do think that it's a sideboard card though, but you have to play this, you have to let them plus those 2 cards, or 3 cards, because if Sim Shenron hits a Broly, you lose your swap. And that's the biggest thing that's gonna hurt.
That's pretty bad.
So basically, Broly is kind of weak against the Shadow Dragon deck because of the rest mode shit, right?
I mean, it's got an answer. It's got an in-team answer, which is
It's weak against Yellow in general because they have 2 answers or 3 answers to Broly. They got the Omega Shenron, they got Nimbus, and then they got they have Relief from Evil. So those cards will genuinely just screw you up against that matchup.
That's fair.
I kick a Bora Unison, could steal Brawly and kill you with it? Yeah.
You're not going to be able to do that.
Well, the cool part about this card is it's also one of the searches for the Vampa field spell, so that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's just a Vampa target. That's why you put it at like 2 of.
Okay.
I mean, it's more useful than the next card we're about to talk about.
Alright. So, next
Agree.
we got Paragus New Ambitions, aka Buzz Lightyear. So, yes, Overlord, auto effect. Choose one card in your hand and discard it. When this card is placed in your drop area from your hand by a scale, add up to 1 red Broly Beer card with an energy cost of 4 or less from your drop area to your hand.
It reminds me how, as like the Bobbity, there's a 2-drop Overlord, how it's not even going to be played in the deck, and it's just there.
Yeah, It's a card. Like I tried making this card work with Beers, the Godly Majesty, because if the play goes out right, if they kill one of your Brolys, you Broly skill, bring out the 4-drop Broly from your hand, use this Paragus skill, grab whatever it is, and then you play the Beerus from your hand. But the problem is, that's the only play you really have with this card.
It just takes up your turn for 2 mana and you don't advance your game.
It's
But 2 mana, you never play him. This is a card that never hits board unless you're desperate.
it's garbage.
I mean, yeah, I know. But I'm saying, like, if you're gonna play it, you're wasting 2 mana and you're not advancing your game state.
You're wasting
Yeah.
2 card slots in your deck. That's what you're doing.
This is literally the first Paragus card I've ever seen that's garbage. Out of every Paragus from like the original
They all
Broly.
can't be winners.
No, I know it's like, but like every Paragus from like the beginning of the game to BR to here now, and I think that, and obviously out of all, this is the worst one.
Hold on, I'm gonna rebuttal that as soon as I find a Paragus card.
Most of them are good.
Most of them have been really good because they help support the deck and do everything they can to help you fight against your opponent. You know, and like this card is just, I feel like it just does too much just for that amount. And again, discarding
Well,
like
not enough for what you need to do. I agree.
What about that Paragus leader, dog?
There was a cute aggro deck.
I actually liked the leader. The leader was fun. You just gotta learn how to. You just have to like find a way how to play around it. But I actually enjoyed that leader. That leader is way better than this battle card. This battle card sucks.
What about the yellow Paragus? That's the weirdest form of a combo I've ever seen. You know, the one that combos itself and then kills itself from the combo area to draw a card.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's a pitch one, draw one.
You're talking about the BR?
It's a yellow Paragus BR that just says activate battle if your leader is a Broly. Remove this card from your combo area and draw a card.
Oh yeah. It's just a free cycle.
But it's literally just a pitch one, draw one that gets killed by Bardock.
So I guess I'm hoping that Limo is gonna bring more excitement.
Limo, yeah. Oh wait, did I not put Chile? Oh
No,
shit!
you did not.
God,
You didn't put your life, but we're
I-
gonna
I-
reference her too.
oh
They're the
my
same card, except
god.
Chila is a 5k blocker, Limo is a 15k that says activate main or battle. Tap 2 red cards, choose 1 red Broly BR in your battle area, return it to your hand to play this card from your hand.
Oh god. I did it.
So,
I did all that, and she's like, dude, she's like one of my favorite characters in the series, and I did this to her. God damn it. Okay, wait, hang on.
Betrayed.
Hold on. There he is. She is. There you go. Just scroll all the way to the bottom, folks. He's right over here. There she is. It's Chila, the trusted friend. And waifu. Yes, so I want to focus on her so it makes it easier. So, yeah. I do like how this card works, you know, like it just pays 2 red from your hand by just, you know, returning one of your cards just to summon this, and it's a free blocker, so it's pretty not bad. Although it does take too much to work it, but you know the coolest part about this card is you can activate this during your main phase, or you can activate this during the battle phase. So
the problem with this, man, it's like you said, this card is too costly, and it doesn't activate leader skill. If it did one of the others, either activated leader skill or it costed 1 less mana, yeah, I'd run it. I'd like it.
I look at this and I think it's basically the Paragus that we just talked about, but better. It looks like the main point of it is to protect your tempo.
Well, it kills your tempo at the same time because you need those Broly's on board.
Right, but I mean, if your Broly's about to, you know, say someone makes the decision to swing into your Broly, and it's like, okay, well, you know, what's the better resource situation here? If you got 2 open, you know, maybe 1 or 2 of them. I mean, versus Paragus, which is.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, first, 2 mana, if it's your opponent's turn, you're either gonna, if you leave 2 mana up, you're gonna either topo or, well, no, that's the only thing, is you're gonna topo. But if you leave that mana up and they attack that Broly, I'm just gonna let the Broly die, because if Broly gets killed, you gotta play another Broly from your hand and snipe another card from your opponent's hand.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it's like, there's no genuine point to this, because you're paying 2 mana, like Limo, I'd rather just play the 2 mana and play him than play 2 mana and lose a Broly and play him.
Well, I think that's a constructed, because like I said, I look at the deck and I mean, I'm glad you guys have found, constructed applications. Found it to work well in constructed, but I look at it and I'm like, oh, this seems like a really good limited setup. Because in limited you're not gonna have topo, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
That's probably the play, right? Is in that situation.
I mean, I guess I see your point on that one. I'm not gonna even argue on that one. Yeah, in limited, you might see one of these cards be played around, but still, probably not. Just for the fact that Topo still taps out. I mean, not Topo. Broly taps out to get their entire chain off.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. You're probably not gonna have the 2 open.
Yeah.
But maybe not in limited. You're not gonna. Well, I guess yeah. You still have all your same chain in limited. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I don't see this card really ever being played unless someone comes up with the form, like something genuinely broken with Frieza's army specifically for this card, or for these cards. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a shame, and I've seen all her Paragus as well. She had a lot of good cards to help support main decks and stuff, but in the end, it's just this one as well. I think it's just this deck that just doesn't do much like the other cards did. They help support as much as they can. I think this one is just kind of lackluster. They're doing they try their best, but it's just not. It just wasn't given the right circumstance, or they just did it wrong, or they were probably rushed. I mean, think about it, they have to be rushed and everything. So maybe that was the problem. Maybe that was the issue. Maybe they were just trying to think it through, because it's not really easy coming up with these abilities to work to have the deck resolve together. That takes time. Yeah. And then remember, we're all in a situation with the whole catastrophe happening to the whole world right now. And then I bet you these guys have to rush. That's why Broly didn't do well or anything. And if they did take the time and effort months ahead, I still think this could have been fixed and looked back a little bit. I don't know why you limit Broly, because Broly was pretty good. I mean, look at the green leader, look at the yellow leader, and then look at the red leader, and then look at the support they had around it. And then yellow did not bad, it was okay. Of course, it was more made for lineage, and green Broly was pretty cool. I mean, they had that limitation with the effect. It still resolved well as one of the big top tier meta decks during set 6. But then this is by far kind of the weakest. This is supposed to be the weakest form of Broly BR, And I'm hoping when we get to the point in the future when we do see black, I know we're gonna have blue, but I want to not care for blue right now, because I want to focus on black, because I know black Broly BR.
I mean, black and yellow's next week.
I know, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about black Broly BR, in the future when we get that. I'm hoping they take it to the next level. Really take it to the next level. Fix around with red and green and make it really good, but stupid good. That I'm actually going to spend a shit ton of money like I did with Broly green. But
let me ask you, what really could Broly do? They've already, Broly VR specifically is all about getting the chains out. From green to yellow to red. Green had, when it dies, you bring out the other ones. Yellow is the same thing, kind of, and red is swap. How is black gonna do it? Is it gonna Xeno evolve, or is it gonna just do straight evolutions to keep going up the chain?
I mean, who knows? I mean, we are, you guys discussed it about a week ago when we finished our recording of the podcast, that we talked about that we are gonna get the revamped Broly BR movie in an episode of Dragon Ball Super Season 2 sometime soon. But better, because we know that story should have been a lot fixed. It was more fighting than storyline. And I know with everything happening, I know they can restart it. Maybe they give us time to think. That I mean, that's what they should do when they hear us out. Take the time to think,
Well,
see how that works, and then remember what Black does, and remember how this effect does, and how the characters works, and then see that through, and see if you can make it worth our while to spend our money on.
I think if they do a Black Broly BR, it'll be a Wish leader.
Probably. We haven't had a Wish
Yeah.
leader in a while.
Yeah, that would be the most on theme. Like, he doesn't really have any Xeno related, flavor to him, but he does have, a big Wish moment. So instead of Chilai and Limo, they might do like a Chilai and Broly Wish kind of.
But the problem is with that is that you need to have the main cards that make what Black Wish decks better, and that's the Child's Wish, and without that card,
Well,
you're probably not going to make a good Wish. And plus, Wish is kind of dead at this point anyway, and they're not going to recreate Wish again.
you'd be surprised. They recreated Swap. Swap died after set 4. After Storm got hit, they tried to revamp it back with Frieza, and then that didn't work out.
Set 9.
Huh?
Valid. Swap was in set 9. Frieza swap. And Clash of Fates.
No, that's what
Yeah, I mean,
But Clash
think,
of Fates was good, and it also support with set 6 because it also had more red Frieza cards, so they helped each other. So that wasn't the end game for that. It's just by set 9.
I think Wish signifies a return to, I think Wish, if anything, is like the premier combo strategy. I think the whole block was combo. So, I mean, and they're trying to kind of balance out the archetypes in terms of playstyle. They brought hand control back in a big way. Ramp is kind of weird, and mid-range is kind of weird. They're almost kind of interchangeable almost. Sort of the same-ish thing, but it's not what it was. And, they're probably, maybe they got their eyes on, bringing Wish back or bringing combo, a true combo deck in some type of form, finding a way within the game's mechanics to still have it have weaknesses.
I mean, the Jax burn was kind of like a combo deck from set 10.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, but even if anytime you include Blue Chain, right, in a Black strategy, you're basically playing combo.
Okay.
Yeah. Ramp is down to 21 with the anniversary box.
Oh man. Oh.
All right. So
I love that, bro. Dual lands, bro. Oh my god.
all right. So we're
man.
getting a little off the subject. So all right. So we're a little off the subject, but it was a good discussion to talk. So let's go ahead and let's move up already to finish up the red so we can get to the green. So finally, we got our red battle card super rare. It's Bardock Strategic Mind. It has Deflect, and its auto effect is if your leader card is mono red, when this card is played, choose up to one of your red unison cards and add 3 markers to it.
Guessing this is to help the Gotenks reach 5.
No, I actually think that this card is going to be for Vegito. Red Vegito, so that way you can consistently burn more damage.
I think it's a perfect if you're running unison in your strat. I mean, it's a good one of 1 to 2 of if you're running unison, just to you could just throw those markers on real quick, and get to your ultimate. Obviously, I don't think you'd ever run more than that.
I think
1 or 2.
I think that this card has potential. One limiting factor to it was that it had to be a red unison, but I think this card is going to be a potential in the future, just because we get another one drop red unison that has like a bonkers 7-cost skill, you're going to play the Bardock, you're going to play the Vegeta, you're going to play everything to ramp up that unison card. So I think, and remember, we are guaranteed a secret rare unison card that could be red.
I just think this card should have been a 2-drop instead of 3. I think 3 is a little bit too much.
What, 2-drop add 2 markers?
Yeah.
2?
Yeah.
Oh.
2 markers, or well, I mean, why? Because you think if I say 3 markers, it'd be too much for a 2-drop?
Yeah, hell yeah, boy.
Uh,
I mean, it is a super rare. Come on, guys. It's a
Here's the problem, is
super
that the
rare.
Vegeta. If the Vegeta wasn't a card, then maybe it had potential. But seeing as the Vegeta's already a 2-drop, you add a marker, it's not. That's why they had to limit that to a 3-drop.
Alright. Okay, let's see the thing. Now let's go ahead and move up to the extra cards. Here we have the 7-star ball, Parasitic Darkness. Permanent, this card gains Dark Dragon Ball in all areas. Activate battle, choose one of your cards and it gets 5,000 power for the battle. Activate main, choose one Black Broly card with an energy cost of 1 in your battle area and place it in its owner's drop area. Play up to one Dark Broly card from your deck or drop area, then shuffle your deck if you look through it.
what, the Dragon Ball?
Yeah, the Dragon Ball, the one that lets you play this.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Black Broly, but it's gonna lead to something. I'm interested.
What interest?
I'm happy that we have a Dark Dragon Ball that gets us a black card because, you know, for playing Meki Kabura and black decks. But I'm sad that it's red. That the actual Dragon Ball itself is red. Like,
But here's the thing. I thought this too before the podcast. I'm thinking it's a coincidence. It's probably like I think of it like an Easter egg. Like you think you have to think this through out of the box. That they're setting up all these cards in different colors. Probably not going to come out in black, but they're somehow going to have something to do with being them all together. And in the future, not probably from this set, from the next set, we know maybe part 3, we are going to get a certain type of secret rare or super rare card, depending on what it is, of a certain Shenron card with Parasite Darkness, you know, that can help, that actually resolves with having all the color code cards. So we probably are going to get yellow and blue maybe from this set or the next, depending.
I think this set we're gonna get.
Hello? Angel. Sorry, am I cut?
No, I hear you.
Did he
Yeah, I hear you.
did he froze?
He might have. But anyway, so Planet Papa.
Alright, Planet Vampa. I guess someone should message him. Seriously, I think that's not good. Yeah, someone should really message him, letting him know that you froze. Anyway, Planet Vampa. Our 1-drop field spell. Activate main once per turn. If your leader card is a red Broly BR card and you add 1 card from your life to your hand, look at the top 7 cards of your deck and play up to 1 red Broly BR, Paragus BR, Ba BR, or Golemite BR card with 5,000 power or less among them, then shuffle your deck. If you play to a card, choose 1 card in your life and in your hand and discard it.
Planet Vampa is so good in the fact that the leader can search it out. You go Vampa into Ba into 1 drop. It's just really good.
Yes, it is. Although I do have a question. It's about that last effect. When it says if you played a card, choose 1 card in your life and add it to your hand. Does that mean like when you activate the once per turn effect, or
Wait, what?
for Planet Vampa?
Okay, so when you activate Vampa,
Mhm.
right? It says if your leader is a Brawly, so it is. You take
Right.
life, and then it activates. So then, if you choose to activate the card, you look up and you choose any of the cards. You shuffle your deck, and then if you pick the card, a card from your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so because I read that and that's what I thought, but then I want to read this right now and it was like if you played a card, which it didn't specify, it's saying if you play 1 of these cards, you choose a card in your hand, discard. And I'm like,
No, it says played.
exactly.
Past tense.
Which is pretty much if you play the first turn, you'll be safe, and then you just gotta wait till like next turn.
I mean, you're gonna. This card is the fucking tits for the deck. You go turn 1, you play this card, you snipe, you try to get either a Ba or you get a Broly turn 1, and then next turn you get the other. You try to get the other version, the other one, either the ball or the Broly. So that way you have turn 2, you swing 15, 19, 20, Awaken, and you keep up the chain. It is super impressive.
But at the same time, you can only play 2 of these in the deck, correct?
And you only play 2 of them because your leader card searches for a bump. He searches for any 1-drop extra card. So you use this turn 1. You use leader effect to find your planet Vampa. More likely than not, one's going to be in your life. The other one you're going to find it in your deck. You take it, and if you started off with it in your hand, then you're going to play it, and then you use leader effect to go ahead and grab yourself either Wolfang or any red extra card that you're running in the deck. Just for the defensive purpose, but then after this card lets you awaken to turn 2 guaranteed, because you go turn 1, rip a card from your life, then you play Vampa, rip another card from your life. You're already at 6 life. Next turn, you're going to be at 4, no matter what, if your opponent chooses to attack or not. And it's the reason why you no longer need to run the Go Tank, because it helps you awaken.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's better than.
Way better.
So let's get to the most underrated SR card from this set. Take it away, Kevin.
Violent Rays, counterattack. If your leader card is red, negate the attack. You may choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. If you do, choose 1. Your opponent can attack with battle cards with 20,000 power or more for the turn, or your opponent can't attack with unison cards with 20,000 power or more for the turn.
Card for red, and it's being slept on right now. It kind of reminds me of Dormant, when they gave us Dormant, and it's like, oh, this is really good. And we didn't know how good it was until, boom, it just came, and it's like, wow, this is really good. I feel like this is going to happen to this card as well.
I mean, I feel like Dormant is obviously good. My question, and I'm on board with red is my jam. But I'm like, what decks are like really, you're trying to stop a turn and they're like 20k. Like swarmy decks are usually sitting at 15.
Yeah. I mean, it's just gonna depend, but there are a couple of 20,000 unisons out there, so I mean, like.
Yeah, the unison stoppage, that is nice, because I mean that'll give you at least, you get the 1 negate, and then you get the unison stop if anything, because there's a good chunk of 20k units. And
that's what's funny. This could actually be a good card against the Brawly deck when they go up the chain.
Yeah. Honestly, to be truthful, but I kind of did think that earlier, but yeah, that was just my thought. I'm like, what? When you talking about in meta terms, like raw power, like turn stopping is always good, but I mean, to be fair, I mean my initial assessment is that it is a great turn stopper, but it is probably the weakest turn stopper that we have. Yeah.
That's fair.
It does ask too much for that.
It's an SR, and it's a unique thing. I don't know. I think there's something there.
I mean, that effect when it stops the 20,000 power, you have to know like what's the deck of it, because otherwise it's just a basic negate attack and that's it. And the choice, I mean, it's good that you get to choose. You may choose to discard a card if you want to activate, but then you have to make sure like, is it really worth to use on the earlier of the game, or do you want to like save it for like way later on to see how the game plays and goes?
Yeah, that's a tough thing with red. Like I keep saying, is the negate situation, because they have really good negates, but a lot of them are just so situational. So well, is that all you got? Is just the best one. It's just the best.
After image is there too.
There's also unending yielding, I believe. That's the one with the makes your Saiyan gain 5,000.
Yeah, the Senzu being negate.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
Red has versatility and bottles assistance, which is really good in both, but you know, Red's got unique negatives, so we get another one here.
Yeah, I mean, and that one also compare that when you're also gonna play when you're also making the Wolfang Fist. I always think Wolfang Fist has been a lot more fun than what this card can do. I mean, I think this card would be fine at 2, but then just leave Wolfang Fist at
I mean, yeah, Wolfang Fist
4,
being 3 is pretty good.
3, 4, because you know that's been a lot more fun than anything.
But you know, I want to talk about my boy, Dark Brawly Overwhelming Evil, and how broken he is.
Exactly.
Bruh.
So
I've been waiting this whole
Bruh.
podcast to get excited, to get hyped about a
exactly. I mean, look. Okay, look at this.
Bruh.
It's Mask Broly, Super Saiyan 4 Mask Broly. So this is technically its official debut of SS4 Broly, the one thing Broly that people have been dying to see for a long ass time, since Gogeta, since the SS4 Goku's and all that stuff, you know. So here it's a 3 marker green unison. It has double strike, auto effect. Once per turn, when a marker is removed from this card by a skill, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and discards it. Activate main by adding 2 markers. You may choose 1 card from your hand and discard it. If you do, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand, discards it, then chooses 1 of their battle cards and KOs it. As second marker, activate main by having 0 cost. If your leader card is green, choose up to 1 of your opponent's unison cards and remove a marker from it.
So I'm gonna go first. I'm hyped.
Go ahead.
So I play this in my Majin Vegeta deck, the Demigod Unison, and it so you summon on 3, you will awaken, and if you get the ball ready to go into the blue chain, when you go into the 5-drop blue, you take a marker away, so that triggers the first effect, so the discard one. The blue makes it discard 1, and then you +2 again makes them. You discard a card, they KO a card and discard a card. So they discarded 3 cards and lost 1 battle card on that turn when you go up the chain. And Frieza was gonna love this unison too. It's 20,000 power, and most likely they're not gonna get rid of it if you summon this, because it's gonna have 4 or 5 markers. It's 20k. They have to combo into it. It has double strike. It has everything that you possibly could want. Like, this is a really good unison.
So is it better than Metacooler?
I don't think. I think in that context, it's providing something different. Like Metacooler, you want to spam tokens, you want to, you know, get the most value from it. This is great in all the hand destruction decks. And like I said, Majin Vegeta, it works because it has the boo that triggers this. So I don't know. I think Metacooler Unison is really good. And I think this one is really good. I think it's just unfair that Green has all the best unisons and they get to pick which unison they want to play, because Green does not have a bad unison.
It's tough to say that I agree, because the better the unisons, the harder it is to choose to take out.
They have the 2-drop Golden Frieza.
Yeah, but that's still better than some of the other colors of worse unisons.
Plus, it gives itself crit, so with that effect, so it's not bad. I do say that this card is.
It can act like a Nimbus.
Floodgate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, like this card, I think is like, if I have this, I think I would replace Bardock maybe with this card, because this card is pretty great.
I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy, man. Like, to even be in a position to where, like, to be like, should I pick this one or Metacooler? Which Metacooler is snapped is what?
Nah.
Snap?
Nah.
And then you're like, and then this comes.
My boy David, he's got 4 already. He's already got 4,
Wow.
and he tried to play in a tournament, and his round 1 saw that he had 3 or 4, and he's like, "Oh, you got the one, dude. Just give him the one left."
Whatever you are, David, congrats.
Yes, I do.
See,
See that?
Oh, no.
Unmute himself for the glory. And
Bro, I'd be plussing right. If he had 4 of them up, man, I wouldn't be holding on to it. I'd be plussing,
I
boy.
pulled-
And he
I
pulled all
every
4.
one of the packs.
Yeah.
For go ball. What's that? What you hold? You holding on to like $500 right there, bro.
I
You'll
know,
get
but
your
that
new
nigga.
set
I
of
mean
rims.
his deck is
Yeah,
like over a thousand.
right now I'm playing Green Freezer, so I play him.
Bro,
He's got some
you could be
promos. He's got
playing in
menu.
4K on a new gaming PC for that 500, bro. You sweet.
But I already got a new gaming PC. I don't need it.
Hey,
All
that's good
right,
shit
that's
though.
good. Well, it's good to see you here in the show,
Look,
David. How's
right
it good?
now, right now I just opened up. I have my own shop. I'm chilling right now, and I'm trying to. And right now I'm just gonna flex on people, so I don't care.
Give that
I
support,
mean,
guys.
he's enjoying his return to DBS.
Enjoy his shop, guys. Pick him up. You might know where he is. David, you want to give him the shout out to what the shop is?
Yeah, it's DW Games.
Look him.
DW Gaming.
Check him out live on
On
TCG.
TCG player.
Check him out. Give him good ratings. He's a great guy. Gives good sales. Gives and good buyouts. He's really great, and he does everything what he can
He
for
helped
himself.
Kevin get all his green cards.
Exactly.
Right now it's offline because I'm celebrating my birthday.
Oh well, then you know what? You know what? Let's all. You know what? Let's before we continue, guys. Let's all sing it. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Okay.
We did it. We did it.
Okay.
To you, and we hope you had a good day. That's.
Don't worry. Well, don't worry. We'll give him the punches later, whatever how old he is.
Oh no.
Yeah. So,
But anyway,
okay.
So I think this is a great unison.
yes.
We're gonna skip the Gohan Vanilla.
Yeah. So we only got Gohan, Mystic, Vanilla, Goku, Vanilla. That's pretty much it. Here
We're gonna
we
get to the
we got our boy Jesse. Shout out to Jesse with his true waifu, and that's Videl, a hero's daughter. She, exactly like the little baby youth Goku, is a blocker with that whole effect there, except this one she does it for the green unison play and you get to draw. So we already talked about this earlier, so it's as simple as that. It's really good, really great, and this is very versatile, very good to use for the Gotenks build, as Gio told me earlier.
I think it's really good in those things because you play this, draw cards, and then you play the Gohan from set 10. You come out with 3 because you'll have the Vegeta unison already in play, and then you trigger the Vegeta the +2, and they both get a revenge, and then there are 2 revenge blockers.
Exactly. That's pretty amazing.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So next,
Alright,
we got
Super Rumble in the game.
we got Noel's favorite character, not Gohan, the Great Saiyaman, Vanquisher of Villainy. Same effect as like you read as Reddit as well, only this time for green. That this card with Majin Vegeta, it's just amazing. That's all we're gonna say. There's nothing to talk about.
You get a free double striker. Free 30k double striker. Like what? For 1 mana when the leaders awaken, because you rig it. He's under the deck, and yeah, it's really good.
Really good, yes. Agreed.
Yes.
Okay.
So look at all these great Gotenks cards we're gonna get lined up here.
So we got Son Goten Bonds of Friendship. It has critical. Activate main by playing 1 green energy. If your leader card is a green Gotenks card and you discard this card from your hand, play or add to your hand up to 1 green Trunks Youth card with energy cost of 3 from your deck, then shuffle it.
Yeah, this one, the next one are 4 of in the deck, which is it's just so good. It's value.
So yeah.
They're 3 drops that are 1 mana basically.
So Trunks Bonds of Friendship, activate main green with paying 1 green energy. If your leader card is a green Gotenks card and you discard this card from your hand, play or add to your hand up to 1 green Son Goten card with an energy cost of 3 from your deck, then shuffle it. Its auto effect is when this card is discarded from your hand by a union skill, look up the top 7 cards of your deck, add up to 1 green unison card with a specified cost of 2 among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck.
Yeah, that you find the Vegeta. So you have a searcher of the Unison, and you can play Bulma from set 10 that she'll search the Unison or search a Saiyan.
So pretty good searching, pretty good summoning. It's really great to see that Gotenks finally got more destructive builds that he need for a long time. So happy that this deck is being
It's
something.
nice to see Gotenks didn't get any crappy cards like Vegeta probably. Oh, anyway.
Yeah, because we just kept seeing that the decks keep getting bigger and bigger. It's just it didn't have proper leader. That was the downside of it. But now it does.
Hey, I like that. I have them.
Well, you're a scrub. Anyway, we got Super Saiyan Gotenks Friendship Fusion. It has unique critical Union Fusion by paying 1 green energy with Green Sun Goten and Green Trunks Youth. Its permanent effect is if this card will be removed from your battle area by an opponent's guild, you may choose 1 card in your hand and discard it instead.
Does this work like the when you summon Deku? And if you do that?
Not sure because I never really focused on Gogeta. Wyse, what do you think?
Like, because if it comes up for 1.
Yeah. No, Deku's free. That's a big difference.
Well, yeah, but it's the same concept, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Same thing, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, free is good, but 1 mana 19k that draws your card and he's crit. Hey man, that's not bad.
That isn't bad.
Vexu's drawing you all types of cards now. Between the leader effect and the unison.
Oh, he is.
Yes. Free pot of greed, boy. But yeah, I mean one man is fairer, and yeah, I mean it's you're getting your money's worth pretty much with the Gotenks. Yeah, you pay the 1, but I mean he's bigger body, keyword. He's got the draw built in. You don't have to set up much. So yeah.
So we got next card. We got Boo Boo Volleyball.
That's right. It's
If
an.
either the green Gotenks take. Well, let finish, Kevin. Sorry.
You know what? I'll let you have it. This one. I'll let you have it. It's cool.
Negate the attack. You may choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. If you do, add up to 1 green Sun Goten with a card with 15,000 power, and up to 1 green Trunks Youth card with 15,000 power from your drop area to your hand. Yeah. So you just negate and add targets to fusion with. That's pretty good, especially since one of the Gotenks is a dual attack 20k. So
That's perfect.
I like it.
It's really good, decent negate. This actually is way better than what that Broly negate had. It's 10 times better. I know it's gross. It's not just because it's green, but it's just because it's how the effect resolves. Because I could see a better red effect negate and way better than that the card. And I know this green card is pretty decent and has a really good effect. So well deserved. And I do like how this deck, not Broly, can work with discarding, because Broly doesn't deserve discarding. This deck in green can work with discarding. I've seen this a lot. That's why we had Frieza work around with the whole Dodoria thing. That's why we have this deck work around with the Trunks being discarded or the Goten being discarded. It works really well how it resolves with the main key point of the deck. So you have to play at least 4 of these cards so that you can continue doing all your crazy fusion summons to your 6-drop Gotenks cards.
So that is true. But next we have Deborah. I wouldn't even play this card in the deck, to be honest.
No.
King of the Demon Realm.
So its auto effect is if your leader card is green and you choose 1 of your unison cards and remove a marker from it, when this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's unison cards and remove a marker from it.
It's nice, it triggers the Broly, but I don't want to pay 2. That deck wants to be so low to the ground.
No, it's not really it's agreed, but it's really not worth the time to do all that effort just to take a marker off your opponent. I'd rather just do attacks and just call it a day. That's why unisons can't even defend themselves in the combo area. They can only be prevent damage from either negates or blockers, and that's it. If they don't have any of that, they're screwed. That's why I guess you wanted to make sure they die a little, but that it's not really worth even side decking even, it's not really worth it unless.
I love how Gohan is both green super combos in this set.
I do like yeah, so this one's just a super combo Gohan. Although you shouldn't really get ahead of yourself because sometimes you gotta make sure everyone gets a chance to explain. So
that's true. But I don't think why he's not, he hasn't hopped on, he thinks green is pushed, and I don't.
Yeah, it's bro, look, compare this. We could talk about the Deborah again for a second. Just compare this two drop that does the same thing that Vegeta was supposed to do. I mean, and I mean it's a limited card still, but wait, still way better, and it synergizes with the Broly. Like this shit is it's out of hand. Yeah, I know, haha, out of hand. It's hand destruction green, but shit, it's out of hand, bro.
It's out of hand, yes.
Green is getting the push that they love.
They
So
are.
it's good.
It's funny because they just
And I ain't gonna lie, I was one of those guys that was like, green sucks for the longest time. I was like, green needs some help, but you know, they overdoing it, man. Like,
I think green needed a lot more help. I mean, it's been a long time for a while because I know green and red have been like having struggles lately with their big pushes because since yellow, blue, and black have been like decimating and dominating every ounce of rain here in the game so far.
Yeah. So we got Bibbidi Creator Majin Buu, another card that I don't really play in the deck either.
So it's Overlord, and its auto effect is when this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, choose up to one green battle card with an energy cost of 3 or less and the servant skill in your hand and play it.
So you could play the Vegeta, the double striker, or you could play the Vegeta Negate under him, which is really cool. I'm going to speak about him in a second because I do like him as a tech card or a side card. But like the leader has Overlord, so there's really no point in summoning this unless you want this thing to die to summon a free Vegeta. But that's just my take.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, thank you for actually calling him Bibbidi. Second of all, that's true because you know it's like when you see this card, I think, oh, it's Bibbidi. It has to do something good. I mean, look what it did with the leader for Black Majin Buu. Look what it's doing for the deck. Let's see what it does in green. Nope. Just
it's cheap.
It's just that.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
The deck wants to be low to the ground and it's low cost, but it's not good enough.
No, it isn't.
No, I mean I think Gio, you put it perfect. Why would you summon Overlord anything? It's stapled on the leader. Like,
Yeah,
stop
pretty
it.
much.
Like,
It's so good that it's on the leader. Like because you could Overlord and then awaken and Overlord again. It's so nice. But that's actually a thing.
So Overlord is a very, very scary ability, you know, for decks that you play for leader or battle cards.
Yeah, because you know it's interesting because if you're not awakened on turn 3, you could summon the Vegeta for 3 if you know he's not gonna get blown up. Swing with it, and then awaken. No, sorry. Swing with it. Overlord, awaken. Tap 1 on the awaken side to bring it back and get 2 swings.
Yeah. All right. So
like he makes use of the Overlord keyword.
exactly. So the next card we got is Mighty Strike, Prince of Destruction Vegeta. Counterattack, negate the attack. Play this card, then look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Add up to 1 green unison card with a specified cost of 3 among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. And it has Servant.
This negate I like as a tech card. So we're talking about Meta Cooler Unison, right? So you slide in Cooler Unison and Majin Vegeta, and you got a searcher that's gonna find you Meta Cooler. So that is a really neat tech if you want to do that. They're not going to be expecting that, and that's just they're going to have to get rid of it at that point. It also searches the Broly because he uses 3 as well.
What's also good is that since it's a servant, you can always have them sent to the bottom deck, so that they're very recyclable. Yes. So you never lose this card. So you're actually going to be very fearful about this card. Plus adding your Broly to your hand already shows how destructive that this card can be, or your meta cooler, as you said earlier. So either way, you're going to be in deep trouble with this card, and this already made the deck even more stupid than ever.
Deck is really, really fun, and it's pretty good.
I could tell from your reaction, it must have been.
Well, I mean, it's all I've been playing. But anyway, this is the board. They gave green another field card wiper, and like.
Wow.
You know, green just gets all the good stuff.
So, Deborah Dark Gambit has an ability saying, activate main by paying 1 green energy. If your leader card is a green and you discard this card from your hand, choose up to 1 card in your opponent's battle area with an energy cost of 1 and the field skill and place it to its owner's drop area, aka Anti-Planet Vampire.
Anti-Planet Bomba, Anti-Tournament Power Arena, Anti-Planet Vegeta,
Anti-Planet
Planet
Namek,
Vegeta.
anti
Yeah.
blah what Toki Toki City, whatever you call it. This card turned that old green field destruction Vegeta card from like Clash of Fates to nothing because one, it's a rare. That's cool. So to show how very valuable and very effective this card can do. Second, it
I
just
mean, the
it
Pokemon Junior is like the best one, but like, if you don't have access to him, then this the
but
Pokemon.
the best part is that, but the best part about this card, it's a one drop, so you don't have to pay like what 3 energies or whatever it was cost worth.
Exactly.
So it already does all the damage to hurt you, so it's pretty good and pretty reluctant to use.
Now this Deborah here, he's a nice little tech. Check the next card.
Yes, his form, Demon God Debor, Dark Dominion. Before I read this effect, what do you really think of the artwork of his true demonic form? Like, this should have been revealed?
Like some cool kind of like.
It's like
It's cool.
it's like it was weird and it's like cool, but I'm thinking this is what they should have shown in the anime, correct? Like his true form before he gets eaten by.
Like heroes.
It's from Dragon Ball Online.
Okay, so
Yeah, like the old MMO from that's where Xeno and all that stuff comes from. Is Dragon Ball Online.
all right. So its activate main is if your leader card is green, you discard this card from your hand and choose one of your unison cards and remove a marker from it. Add up to one green Dark Dragon Ball card from your deck or drop area to your hand, then shuffle your deck if you look through it.
So basically, you slam down the Dark Broly on 3. You activate this. You go up the Boo Chain. It takes off the market they discard. When you get the Dragon Ball, you awaken. Summon the Boo. You have the Dragon Ball already because he found it for you. You're gonna go up the chain. So like he could trigger that discard effect, and so can the Boo. It's just to secure the Dragon Ball, and to note, the Hatchak Agent of Destruction, he can find your one drop of Bobbity. He finds them all. He finds the blue one, he finds the black one, and he finds the green one because they're all evil wizards. So that's also another tech that the deck can do.
Hatch and Vegix. Yummy.
I mean, on Vegix Boo, yes.
Yeah.
I have it in that. It is yummy.
It is
It
delicious.
secures the Bobbity.
Secures the
Well-
bag.
Exactly.
But now,
Now,
since nobody's enthusiastic about that, we got SS3 Son Goku to New Extreme.
so it has dual attack
Yeah.
and it's a 4-drop counterplay. If your leader card is a green and you choose one of your unison cards and remove a marker from it, play this card. Then, if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 5 or less, it's placed in its owner's drop area instead of being played.
The thing is, this is only free if you remove a marker. If not, it's a full cost. For free,
It's never free. It's never free.
Really?
Remember Toa from Set 7?
Yes, I do. This is like the whole argument too. Of
Yeah.
Red Bond.
Yeah, no. I saw somebody too. They put like they already had like a Facebook group or something. They screenshotted and put it in one of the discords. Like you'll have to pay the energy for the SS3 to New Extremes, or like no. That had me rolling. But I would just say like it's the same text as I mean, it doesn't have a permanent on it that says to reduce the energy cost. It just, yeah.
I mean, paying for it is not that great.
No, it's not.
If you can remove
Call.
marker free, then we got something there.
I'm thinking like, for some reason in my head, I know it's not really as close to this, but for some reason I'm thinking like Raccoon Gun from like set 1, the like 4-drop extra card. Feel like
That was a cute. Yeah.
I feel like that was like a disappointment for it to be Yevil's first negate until we get Flying Nimbus. That was kind of stupid. And this card I really don't like, and it's such a sad waste for Super Saiyan 3 Goku to be this. Especially it's just not really worth the time.
Not every Goku can be good.
Not every good, I know. And then you look at his new leader form. He was great. Oh well.
So
Now it's
have this,
we have
shiny SR that I also don't play in the deck.
so it's Prince of Destruction Vegeta, Prideful Warrior. It has Deflect, Triple Strike, and Servant. Auto effect is if your leader card is mono green, when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's unison cards and remove 3 markers from it. So basically it's the polar opposite of what the super rare Bardock does. So instead of increase, this card will do decrease to your opponent's markers on their unisons.
Haiku that draws you a card. It's good if you make it on 4, but like in the Majin Vegeta deck, you're winning by like turn 2, turn 3. Excuse me, and you're winning at the earliest you possibly can. So this card may not shine in that deck, but like I mean, it's a good card. Otherwise, removing markers, I feel like it's gonna have meaning in this set. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a cycle. You know, we have yet to see what blue and yellow do, but yeah, like you mentioned, it's the other side of the Bardock that adds the 3. So we'll see what the yellow and the blue one do.
All right.
Pretty good abusing the servant mechanic with that super combo and all that. So.
All right. And so we're going to show our final card of the night, and it's Final Explosion. Activate battle. If your leader card is a green Vegeta card, choose up to one of your cards. It gets plus 10,000 power for the battle. Then choose one of your unison cards and you may remove a marker from it. If you do, choose up to one of your opponent's unison cards and remove a marker from it.
What's really good about this card, if you have the Brawly, you trigger the Brawly to discard 1 and
Yep.
from the unison and your leader gets second. That's like the most like highest
Silly. It's silly. Good.
So like there's uses for this card. It's I think it's decided if you are gonna play it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a little weird card, but it's okay. I'm not gonna diss it. It's just the whole, it's just fine as as that ability with removing a marker from your unison to your opponents is better off as an extra card instead of a battle card. I feel like that shouldn't be wasted on a battle card most of the time unless you're side decking for certain reasons that they can work around with it, that like plays like certain key cards or like with character traits or special traits. As an extra card, it's not bad. Plus, it gets a little bonus to give your to get one of your battle cards an extra 10,000 boost. So it's okay.
It certainly has its uses.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for all the cards for red and green so far. So now that we have all, so now that we've seen all the cards here revealed with red and green so far, what are your thoughts from last week now to this week?
Majin Vegeta is the best thing that they showed.
It's actually great for finally, since the Vegeta Blue Super from set 1. I think this is by far the literally
baby does.
Yeah.
because how many
red babies?
how many Vegeta's leader cards have been lame since then, but then now this one has proved to be worthwhile to play now.
It's very aggressive, goes in. Yeah, it's definitely worth playing. They gave us something finally. And I think number 2 is number 2 is tied between Red Brawly and Green Gotenks.
As as mediocre or something?
No, Red Brawly has potential, and so does Green Gotenks. I just want to see at first, I was before the Planet Bomb and all that. I was totally Green Gotenks is number 2. But seeing more and seeing you and Angel and Matt and some other people test, Red Brawly could be a very good deck, depending on what else it gets and how the meta shapes up.
It's actually funny how I never been this excited to actually make a deck to actually try out Brawly, especially with Angel. I mean, we were doing that recording session on Sunday afternoon, and we were I had all this time since I was off that day, and we were doing all this stuff, and I was I want to make this deck, see how it works, and I was non-stop being played because honestly I was just too lazy to try these other decks. But when we were playtesting, we were having a lot of fun and seeing a lot of results and stuff.
I mean, that's what it's about, just having fun.
Well, you go ahead and tell that to the competitive, and Syndicator and Noel about that, and get back to me on that.
He wants to enjoy the game, but he's not right now. And go check out his latest video about Bandai and tuning releases. That's a good one.
Oh,
Right.
Um,
That's kind of what I was thinking because I'm like, man, like we talking about Red being weak right now, but we don't know. The draft box is coming out within a couple weeks of when this releases, and Red might jump out the gym with draft box nonsense.
I mean, we're getting Rudiger support in there. I'm hyped over that. So
Eight.
see. Apes, yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting a great bar, part or unison in there. So there's something. But for me, it's definitely Majin Vegeta #1. Getting turn 2 kills with this deck just feels so good because you can just pretty much just come out of the gates and just have 3 to 5 triple strike swings depending on how your turn is.
we got that one. So if we change the ranking system from ours from a week ago, we can change it up. So we did. So obviously, Majin Vegeta still take the ranks as #1, #2. I think Broly went up now from being the worst to now proving itself to be back. So I give it a #2. I think it's fair to give both Broly and Gotenks the tie for second. Because they prove themselves to be the most beneficial decks to be getting the support. Like Gotenks already has enough support, and you just need certain key cards to play the deck and the leader, and that's all it needed. And Broly finally got what it needs to make sure it didn't look like crap, unlike last week. And Gogeta just went from like number to number.
Sitting in there.
It's just hitting there. It's just never.
Hey man, listen, it's gonna be all good, man. Like it's all good over here. I'm still. It's the eternal struggle. Red has like 70% of what it needs to be like one of the most annoying do nothing decks. Like you can assemble a good do nothing red deck, but it's missing that last piece, right? Every set is like something that excites me. So that's what I saw with Gogeta. I'm like, there's times I could do not a damn thing. And that'll be great because I love my aggro stuff, but I also love to do nothing too. So, I mean, I don't think it's bad. I want to do some damn testing myself, but I work too hard to test as much as y'all do. But I mean, I was with y'all. Broly looked like bleh to me. But yeah, the field spell crazy. The only thing I know, I'm probably gonna. I don't care what's going on. If I'm spending money on set 11. That SS4 archetype, I don't care if it's bad or whatever. I'm grabbing that. I don't care. I'm foiled to join up.
Brawly, like most of that is just common in commons except for like the SR Brawly, I think.
I mean,
yeah, and that's why I wasn't sweating it either. Like there was like the big boy is the only thing that looks like it was high rarity.
you gave me a good idea, or not good idea. You just gave me an idea. I was just thinking, what would you really think? Because they do this whole foil, non-foil thing for commons and commons rares. Would Bandai actually have, and I'll say this term loosely, have the balls to actually have foil and non-foil super rares? Like think about that. Would that actually work well with product?
That would be interesting.
I think it'd be great.
Would help the
Great.
because the non-foil SR would be dirt cheap and the foil SR would be money. Yeah.
Just how?
So then
Yeah.
they push back set 11. Well, let's see. I'm hyped for next week. We got black. That's always lately been really good, and yellow. That is always good. So it's kind of like
Oh, what's next week?
yes, black and yellow. We get Garlic Jr. next week. and
Why do you
we
think
get
he's been
Black.
singing that lame rap song that no one cares for except for
Oh.
shitty millennials?
Y'all gotta have me back for black, man. Hey,
Well, we hope
SS4 next week.
SS4, and we
Black
got.
leader is next week.
We're gonna see that black leader with that Piccolo unison, and we're gonna be hyped for that, sir.
And whatever else black is. So it's gonna be a good time.
So
Dark Broly. I think it's Dark Broly's a lead too, isn't it? Or is it archetype?
Not sure, but I'm excited. We're gonna
Yeah.
see.
all right,
Oh.
God, no.
So I guess that's all we can say for today. Angel did have to leave a little earlier. He said he had to go, so that's why you don't see him. So we'll say a goodbye for Angel for him, and we hope to see him maybe next week or so. We will maybe we might see Noel again. Who knows? I do want to go ahead and thank Angel for coming in for the show, like always. Also thank Wyse Wild here for coming in our show. It's great to have you here.
Absolutely, pleasure's all mine.
It's no problem, man. If anybody, well, you have to, well, you gotta let me say the words, man. I'm the host.
Y'all funny.
Goodness, exactly. Exactly.
But anyway,
Gio just loves to get ahead of everybody when he knows that he thinks it's his show, but he forgets who runs this podcast. But, but he, exactly, chance. But I do want to. But I was gonna say. But yeah, I do want to thank David for giving his little free flows and always coming out to watch it. That's why everyone who doesn't know him always watch out. So again, go ahead and check him out and from his TCG player list whenever you have the chance to see it. It's DW Gaming. Check it out. Always good prices. He has good benefits and does really good job when he does when you sell your cards to him. No doubt. I swear. 60% off. That's amazing. Okay, and of course, I always thank Yeovani for always coming in here, even though he was really lackluster today's recording.
hey man, I can't always be hyped. So,
Hey.
let everyone drive home the show today.
Hey man, this is what you wanted. This is what you signed up. You wanted a podcast. You got a podcast. That's what you signed
Hey,
up
I did Vegeta, I was hyped.
Ex-
Gave the green bullet, I was hyped.
for. Now let.
Looking forward to this week.
I know. Now please keep that in your pants. This is a show for children, and we have enough pedophiles as it is.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what, Noel's not here.
No one does that with you. Let's look up to the details. I think we have enough of that for the show. So anyway, guys, we thank you so much, and we hope to see you next week. Give us a like, comment, share, and subscribe. This is Fortress Striker and the DBS podcast signing off.